Hi, this is Josh with Skaa, and welcome back to the Dillinger Labs Dani video manual. In this video, we're going to go over the user panel and talk about how you can bond Skaa receivers to Dani. Right now, I have a laptop hooked up to Dani with a 3.5mm to dual TS cable, so I'll put Dani in -10 mode on the input panel. Turn on Dani from the user panel by pressing and holding the power button. As mentioned in a previous video, you can tap the power button 3 times to switch between Skaa and Skaa Pro mode. Green is Skaa and red is Skaa Pro. For this video, we'll work in Skaa mode for up to 4 simultaneous Skaa receivers at 36 milliseconds of latency. You can also tap the power button once to check your battery life. Dani has a 14-hour battery life from a full charge and can be charged with the included USB-C cable that works with most power bricks, or you can plug it directly into a computer for power or any other device that can supply power over USB. If you're using Dani in a permanent installation or in your recording studio, you can leave Dani plugged into power continuously. However, to extend the life of Dani's battery, it's recommended to run it on battery power alone once per month. Let's take a moment and talk about Dani's power states. Depending on whether you're working in Skaa mode or Skaa Pro mode, or whether you're using battery power or you're connected to external power, Dani has one of 4 power state sequences that will apply, and these are really helpful for saving battery life on the Dani. After a certain amount of time with no audio input, Dani will automatically enter virtual off mode, shown in this chart as VO. Virtual off means that Dani's radio transmitter is powered off, but the Dani itself is not completely powered down. Dani will automatically come out of virtual off when it hears an audio input again. In Skaa mode, Dani will enter virtual off after 2.5 minutes of no input, so 2.5 minutes after it detects silence. If running off of battery power, Dani will then automatically shut down 60 minutes after entering virtual off. If you have Dani plugged into external power, it will never completely power off, but it will still enter virtual off after 2.5 minutes of silence. When working in Skaa Pro mode, Dani will enter virtual off after 20 minutes of no input. If running off of battery power, Dani will then automatically shut down 60 minutes after entering virtual off. And once again, if you have Dani plugged into external power, it will never completely power off, but it will still enter virtual off after 20 minutes of silence. Now, if you're using Dani in some sort of permanent installation where you need it to continuously run and never enter virtual off, you can tap the power button 6 times and you'll see the LED flash. This will disable virtual off, so Dani can never power down until you drain the battery to a critical level or turn it off manually. And to reverse this change, just simply tap the power button 6 more times. You can verify that Dani is charging if you see a single LED at the top of the LED stack. There's also a global volume control for all receivers that are bonded to Dani, but more on that in just a bit. Next, let's bond some receivers to Dani. So I'll play some music from my laptop. I'll verify that I'm getting signal on the input panel by checking the signal LED. And my first receiver is a Soundbox 4, which I'll just turn on, and then I'll put it in join mode. You should see the bond indicator light on the back of the Soundbox in a bright amber color. This means Soundbox has automatically bonded to Dani and should be playing audio. If not, double tap the bond button to explore, and once it's bonded to Dani, you can press and hold the power button for a few seconds to add Dani to Soundbox's green list. This means that this receiver will automatically bond to Dani anytime you turn it on. Next, let's add a Dillinger Labs Death from Below subwoofer. I'll turn it on, and it should automatically bond to Dani and start playing audio. If not, double tap the bond button to explore, and then press and hold a few seconds to save Dani to the DFB's green list. Or if I need some headphones, I can grab a pair of Dillinger Labs Helix, turn these on, and they should automatically bond to Dani just like the other receivers. If not, double tap the bond button to explore, and once bonded, press and hold to green list. If you're using a StreetHeart receiver, the process is the same. Turn on StreetHeart, and it should automatically bond to Dani. The bond indicator is on the output panel, while the bond button is on the user panel. Double tap the bond button if you need to explore, and press and hold for a few seconds to green list. Skaa receivers have their own local volume control, while Dani has a global volume knob. This will control the volume of all downstream receivers bonded to Dani. When you turn the volume knob, you'll see the bond indicator flash on your Skaa receivers. And you can even mute all of your receivers by quickly pressing the volume knob 3 times. You'll see all bond indicators flashing, meaning that they're muted. And to unmute, simply press the volume knob 3 more times. Continue on through this playlist to learn more about your Dani Skaa Pro transmitter. Head over to Skaa.com or Skaastore.com to learn more about the Skaa wireless audio standard, shop additional accessories and cables available for use with Dani, and explore the wide range of available Skaa transmitters and receivers. Thanks for watching.